Hey guys, my name is Simon, second year medical student at the University of Zambia. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It feels like I've not been behind the camera for a very long time. The time factor. And speaking of time, today in this video I'm going to talk about the basic skills rather, that you can learn that are going to save you tons of time. So if that's something that you think is going to be interesting to you, stick around as we dig into it. So for this video specifically, I've not really come with researches that have proved that these skills are going to help you. I have rather opted to make this video very personal, in the sense that I'm going to speak about how these skills have helped me, regardless of how they've done to other people. Of course, it makes logical sense that they're going to save your time as well. But I've opted to make this video very personal, as I believe it is going to be more relatable that way, in the sense that I'll talk about how exactly these skills have impacted me. Okay, so the first thing on my list today is, obviously, I think most of you know where I'm going with this, is learning. Learning is actually a skill. Okay, so I actually believe that learning how to learn is going to do you much good, as in that is the whole concept of sharpening the blade before you start cutting the tree. I don't know who is the original source of that quote, but I've mainly heard it from Jim Quick. I didn't take time to search who the owner of that quote is, but if you're given 6 times to cut a tree, better use the first 3 hours to just sharpen your axe, and then you cut through the tree much better, other than spending all your energy cutting the tree for 6 hours, which probably you won't even manage to cut it if the axe is really has got a dull blade, that is. So, and the other thing is, I'm not really restricting this to only academic learning. Everything is actually about learning, and the better you are at learning, I think the better your chances of succeeding in life. And on my academics part, to be realistic, these especially even the techniques that I'm sharing here, they have not necessarily turned me into a straight A student. Not really. But I believe they can be used by everybody through continuous, and I think of the knowledge about learning, I only know probably 0.00005% of it. I'm still learning, and I'm enjoying the benefits of whatever I learn. So if the same techniques could transform, probably maybe example my B to a B+, they could transform your A to an A+. So you, regardless of your level, actually it's better that you continue to learn. You don't have to relax if you think that you are doing better already, because personally for me, I'm still improving, I'm still facing hurdles, I'm still facing a lot of challenges, failures, part of life, but I'm still persistent about learning how to learn, because I know I still have a long way to go. Because even in my profession, if God allows that I succeed in my medical career, there's going to be plenty of learning in that career. So the better the better I am at learning, the better I will be at my career. But I want to make this as personal as possible, as I said. So, and for me personally, the skill of learning, as in learning efficiently, upon reflecting, I discovered that it has been a very key component of my academics, and actually basically my life. I have been so interested in how I can learn better and faster, and that is actually evident from how much I'm able to remember from the things that have been taught by people from way back. Because I remember also in grade 8, I remember I failed a mathematics test, the end of term 1 test, and when I was at a boarding school for the first term, and when I came back home, my dad, who is a primary school teacher, as I earlier stated in my introductory video for those who watched he also teaches mathematics for the junior secondary, that is grade 8 and 9. So he just said mathematics does not really change, it is cumulative, but you just have to learn the key concept and everything flows from there. I remember those specific words about mathematics, and upon reflecting, I believe it was because that is somehow how I'm supposed to view mathematics. So that is going to help me learn mathematics more. And again, not only that, in grade 9, my aunt, who is a secondary school mathematics teacher right now, when she was doing her teaching practice, she came at my grandma's. She was staying at my grandma's place, yeah, which is her mom. To me, that's my grandma. So I was staying there for the first time, and I was okay in maths, but not really top notch as she wanted me to be. So she told me these words, and I still remember them as if it's yesterday. She said, if you want to be good in mathematics, you have to learn to play with numbers. So playing with numbers, she meant by doing some mathematical problems frequently. So she said, the more you do that, the faster you become, and the faster you become, that is going to help you a lot in mathematics. And I can really relate, as in, you have to be able to know what 6 times 7 is before you start solving. That will save you tons and tons of time, because you don't really need to start counting, especially first year mathematics at UNZA. You don't even use a calculator. Yeah, so those were the things. And I remember in grade 11, this one struck me very hard. We had to talk, our very own Dr. Razias Siatwambo. He came to Wacha Secondary School, and he talked a lot about his book Exams Made Easy, which I actually read and recommend that you should also check it out if you haven't. It's a very, very nice book. That book, as we were in the school hall, he was talking about how we conceptualize academics, and how much just a mindset shift can change anything. And he gave an example which I remember very, very vividly. He gave an example of a boy who was taken to his office, saying the boy was not really performing very, very well, and he only asked the boy what he liked doing, and the boy talked about soccer. He said, I like football. So he started asking this boy questions on soccer, questions on the football players, and this boy was able to answer every single question because he was interested in soccer. So his point was the amount of relevance you put on something, that is going to trigger your interest, and the more you are interested in something, the more you are actually able to learn it. So that actually also changed my perspective. No wonder I even talked about appreciating the subject in my previous video. I've forgotten the title of that video, but I talked about that in the sense that it removes the burden of thinking studying is a chore. So all of those things, I'm just pointing them, as I said, this is very personal. I'm just bringing them in conjunction to show that I've actually been interested in learning how to learn from way back, way back. And it was only after my grade 12 when I actually ventured into it very deeply, as in I started reading books about it, doing a lot of researches on how I can actually develop my learning skills. Yeah. Okay, so the second thing on my list is rather unexpected. Probably most people won't expect this, but it is actually typing. Yeah. So if you are like me, okay, probably most of us, I don't know about others, but most of us, we've not really been raised up, especially here in this country, raised up with a lot of exposure to computers. For me personally, I first operated a computer when I was in grade 8, and yeah, that's during computer studies, when I started doing computer studies in grade 8. And we didn't even have a lot of time with computers. We would go there, you'll be maybe 4 on one computer, you basically take a few minutes to do that. And so that actually limits the amount of experience you have with those gadgets. And I actually got my own personal computer after I had actually written my grade 12. That was in 2019. So if you are like me, if you have been in a situation like mine, you find that mostly typing is not a skill that you know. But with the way things are moving right now, you are going to incorporate typing in a lot of tasks. Like for example, me, when I'm studying, actually I also write my own questions, I type my own questions, I also create my own flashcards. I have to type all that out. And if it is going to take me 10 minutes to type a single sentence, that is going to be probably impractical. Yeah, and probably a professional typist should type something like 60 accurate words per minute. I can only type something like 38 or something. Actually, typing, you can, it's a basic skill. The reason why I say it's a basic skill, it is not hard to learn, as in it can only take you maybe 2 to 3 weeks to really figure, for your hand to be, I don't know if I can say, adapted to typing, as in your hand placement and fingers and everything, and then from there you just have to improve on your speed. So it is really easy. It is not a complicated thing. You only need a good software to help you. Like, for example, I used Mavis Beacon Teaches Typing. I did that in 2019. It just took me something like 3 weeks to really get the hang of it, of which finger presses on which button and everything. And then from there, it was all about speed. I just had to improve on my speed and accuracy. So learn how to type. If you have a laptop or a computer, whatever it is, find a software which can help you how to type, and you find that most of the things, you are going to do them much easier. If you're writing assignments, you're going to be typing them much faster. So it is going to help you, and it is going to save you a lot of time if you just learn how to type. A very basic skill, but I think probably most of us are not really even thinking about its importance and how you can learn to type really fast. So I'm only in my intermediate, more like an intermediate level, but I'm able to type at least 38 accurate words per minute, and that is fast enough for me to do most of my work reasonably within a good amount of time. Of course, I want to improve, but that is something that you can also start doing as well. Okay, the third and last thing on my list is actually something which I think I've not really put a lot of time in it, but I think I have to, as in I made this decision to learn this skill, but because of time and some things, I didn't really put a lot of time learning it. So I'm saying it so that we can actually go into this journey together. And this skill is basically speed reading. So for those who do not know what speed reading is, it is directly from how you interpret it from the word. It's actually reading fast, reading really fast. Like, so I actually learned of this and its importance from Jim Kwik. For those who know Jim Kwik, he talks about speed reading and how it actually helps your comprehension, as in the faster you can read, the better you comprehend, which is somehow intuitively not of how I thought of it. I thought maybe the faster you read, you won't be able to comprehend things much faster, but he actually explained it really well, and even gave an example of somebody who is driving. If you are driving at 150 kilometers per hour, you're going to be focused, as in hands on the wheel, like no mistake, because you know if anything can happen. But if you are driving at 20 kilometers per hour, probably you are going to be checking your phone, you're going to be laughing, you're going to be, so the amount of attention or focus that the brain is going to require for that specific task is not going to be as much as it will require when you are driving at a very high speed. That is the same with learning. That is how he relates it, or rather reading, sorry. So the faster you can read, the more focused you get, and the more you are able to comprehend. Now, of course, I've not really, as I said, I'm learning this. I've started, but I'm learning this. I've not really applied it a lot to my academic kind of reading, but from what I know and from what I'm doing right now, I think I can fit in speed reading mostly during my priming stage, when I'm constructing the framework or the skeleton of the subject, which is an important step of studying. If you're not doing it, remember to start doing it now. Priming, we call it priming. So I can speed read through my work to get the conceptual understanding, and then after that I can slow down to digest all the details and the like. And also, if you are also interested in reading other kind of books, like reading is something that has changed my life basically. I've read a lot of books so far. It can be religious books, it can be academic books, it can be books about self-improvement, it can be novels, it can be any kind of book. But the faster you can read and comprehend, the more books you read, the more knowledge you get, and the better things are going to become. So that is going to save you a lot of time. Yeah, so speed reading should be something that you also want to go through it. I have no tips to give, because as I earlier stated, I'm also a beginner, only sharing it with you guys so that we can take this journey together, which I think is going to be much helpful. Alright guys, that's it for today. Remember to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share with your friends if you liked it. Comment section is for you guys. Tell me a skill that you think I have to learn that is going to save me tons and tons of time. something that you think a lot of people do not put a lot of concentration on, but you personally have found it helpful in terms of saving time, that you think even your friends are going to benefit from. So drop that in the comment section below and let's build each other up. So see you next time.